my name is Starlight and welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and Starlight had such a great day. I just needed to get out in nature a little bit more today, and this is perfect weather for me. I don't even know what the temperature is here, but Starlight needed to go near the river out here and have some alone time with Mother Earth and the universe and the archangels, besides with myself. And anyway, I hope you're getting out in nature. Plus, make sure you're taking really good care of yourself, emotionally, physically, like make sure you're eating healthy. Starlight's working on her diet. I'm really pushing hard on being selective on the food I eat. And it's so important. I'm letting go of cheese and eggs again. So here we go, is letting go of that. And also, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight. And that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up. And you can also leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also share this video with your family, friends. I seen some ducks out here, and let's see, a raccoon. Plus, you can also, I don't have my bell, but don't forget the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And you can also check out my playlist. Plus, you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, and Facebook, and that is at Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So anyway, Starlight, this is where I was out a while ago, a month ago or so, when I made like a video out here. And this is, I don't really come out here a lot lately, but this was close by, and even though I was already out in nature, I really needed a walk and I needed to get near the river. So anyway, I decided, because I got other things to do today, I figured, hey, I can make this video now and save some time. So anyway, today is about letting go of people that, there's times, I had to let go of a couple today of people that I really love, and I still do. So it is so important when you learn by letting go of people, and sometimes we got to let go of people because we need our space, we need our space. And we can always have them around another time, but right now we need our space. And so it is so important when you do this that blessings will come in, because what it is it's tough. It is really tough, and it's hard. It's not easy. I wouldn't say it is when it's not. But letting go of people that you love is very hard, and, it can be very painful at times, because we want to hold on so tight to them. But, it's kind of funny. I'm going to bring up even things, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Like in my car, I got a lot of stuff in my car. But if I keep on holding on to everything in my car, it gets kind of crowded, and things kind of can get a little messy in there, because I have so much clothes. Today I'm going to do my laundry, but there's times that I gotta let go of things even in my car that I really enjoy, like clothes that I had in the summer. If I keep on hanging on all those clothes that I had in the summer, I won't have the space that I need for the winter clothes. And same thing as far as relationships go. If we hold on, there's times people go through different things, and relationships or family. There's times that our family changes, or family or friends or loved ones, where, some people we totally got to let go, and might even have to block them out of our life. And that is painful, because if you're going to, receive messages on your phone that are, where you're being attacked, then those people, you definitely want to block them on your phone. And when you do, God is going to really be impressed. A lot of times we have a hard time because we feel like the way society has conditioned us that it's not okay to do those things, that we shouldn't block people out of our life, you know, that we shouldn't let those people go, even if they're your family. But, you know, to let you know, there's people out there that have spirits in them, and you don't want, like, a person that has spirits in them to be attacking you and trying to put fear in you. So there's times that we do have to let these people go, and so we can make space for new energy to enter in our life, or new things to come in our life. So blessings will come in, you know, when you let go of fear of holding on so tight to people that they might need their space, you know, they might need, you know, some growing to do, or you might have some growing to do, and maybe things are not the way you want them now. So letting go is actually very healing for you. And when you let go, then you're making more space for, you know, like, other people to come in your life, you know, the right kind of energy, you know, like positive energy, good connections, you know, the right kind of people into your life, because you're letting go of what no longer serves you. And so blessings will come in. And same thing like with a job, you know, if you are working at a job. I'm going to actually walk across here. Horses come out here. I see their hoof tracks out here. So just like a job, if you are working at a job and you're miserable, well, now how are you going to get another job? You're going to have to let go of that job that's no longer serving you, so you can make space for a job that you can actually enjoy and love. And I see this a lot out in this area, you know, where people are complaining, you know, about, you know, they're making me feel like crap. And, you know, hey, you decided to be a slave at that job. I'm sorry, but I am not deciding to be a slave anymore. I rather serve God. There's a lot of people on YouTube and all around the world that are doing different kind of jobs, and they love what they're doing. And they're actually, you know, like serving God, and they're not a slave to the system anymore, and they're getting paid what they feel that they deserve for that kind of service that they're doing for God. So if you're holding tight on that job because, you know, you're waiting for something down the road later on, but you're so stressed out, it's not going to really help you or your family, if you have any family in your life, you know, because now you're going to add all that stress that you're dealing with from your job, and you're going to end up, you know, like transferring that energy to your family. And, you know, your family, your wife or husband or your children or even your friends, you know, you're going to, that energy of, you know, being depressed and sad and angry at different things at work is going to really end up going on other people without you even being to realize that that energy is so powerful, and it has a way of affecting everyone. Because like when you have a job and you hate it, and then you go home and then you're bitching, complaining about the job that doesn't even pay you what you're worth and how they treat you, but you feel committed that, you know, you don't want to be one of those people that, you know, where everybody's like, oh, he's a quitter or she's a quitter. Well, you got to let that go too. You let those, you know, those kind of thoughts and opinions out of your mind space, and do what you want to do, and not to worry about what other people say or think. That's going to give you more space to bring in more positive energy, to believe in yourself and not to care what other people think or say, and go for those things that you really want to do. So making, like I said with my car, right now today is laundry day, so I have too much clothes. You know, it really complicates everything in my car, moving things around, because some of you might not know this, but I'm living in my car like this. It's so beautiful. I love when I see this. So with my car, you know, I have a choice. I can keep holding on tight to all those beautiful clothes that were given to me, you know. So what, God can't give me more clothes in the summertime? So, you know, I have to go and clean that laundry today, and then I'm going to organize it, so then I can make space for new clothes coming in. Right now I don't need summer clothes, so I had to let go of a lot of summer clothes so I can make space for winter clothes. And like relationships, your family, is your family taking all your time and energy and not even respecting you? Are you in a toxic relationship where they don't even respect you, and they are there judging you, and they're, like draining your energy, and, they could be using you and disrespecting you in different ways, or, talking behind your back or whatever? Well, you have a choice. You have a choice to keep those people in your life, or, by letting them go, God is going to help you by letting that person go out of your life that's toxic, and God can replace that with something better in your life, and you will be blessed. Things will come in. You will have abundance coming in your life when you learn to let go of what you no longer need or care, whatever doesn't serve you anymore or love you anymore, because like me letting go of those clothes, my summer clothes, I'm like, well, I love all these summer clothes. Now, you take a look in your closet. Some of you might have so much clothes that you don't have any space to put more clothes in. So that means you got to let go. Look at the clothes that you have in your closet. This is what Starlight went through this so many times. There was clothes that I loved, but for some reason I never wore, So that those clothes that I never was wearing was taking space where I could have replaced it with new clothes that, I would wear. So, and that goes with, like relationships, maybe you're with somebody right now, and by letting go, you're making space maybe for new growth to happen in that relationship by letting them go and realizing, just like I had to let somebody go in my life is because we were in each other's way. I laugh. It's like we're in each other's way, They were trying to help me, but what they were trying to do wasn't helping me at all, and so today I actually had to block them on my phone. I'm like, what? Because they're, they got a spirit in them, and that spirit is using that person, and that person doesn't even know that they're being used, and so I can't let a spirit go through my phone and send me messed up messages, that will mess up my mind space, my thoughts, my emotions. So, hey, you know what? If you're going to act like that to me on my phone, I'm going to block your ass. If somebody's disrespecting me, I'm going to get them out of my life. But there's times that, like I said, kind of like a plant, it's kind of weird, like it's hard. Sometimes we have, like, there's different flowers, and I learned this a long time ago where even like a tree, different kind of plants that you have to prune them, and we don't want, it's hard, like, oh, I don't want to cut that, you want to keep the apple tree, but if you don't, like, cut some of those branches out, it's not going to grow and produce more fruit. So there's times that we gotta, we might have people in our life that we really care for and love, but sometimes we need some pruning in our life so the relationship will actually be better later on, so it can produce the fruit that we're looking for. Maybe there's some growth that we have to go through, and maybe we got to learn some things. And just like a plant, like with a flowering plant, and I didn't know this, even like tomato plants, squash plants, there's different flowers that will produce a lot of flowers. Is what I was learning is, hey, if I didn't want to pull the little buds of flowers off, but I was learning if I take those off, it's going to produce more flowers later on. It will make the bush even have more flowers. And just like a tomato plant, when they start getting I don't know what they're called, but it will have that little yellow spot on there, and you pull those off. Or on squash plants, you pull those little yellow flowers that are going to produce fruit later. You pull them out, and it's going to produce more fruit on there later. It's not that you're going to pull the plant and pull it right out of the ground and kill it, because you want that fruit from that plant, and you want those extra flowers. So it just needs some, you got to pull some things off of it so it will actually grow better, because it needs more space to actually be able to grow and do its thing. And that's the same thing with relationships. Sometimes we got to do that. Sometimes we got to go through the pain, just like pruning and all that with plants. Like a tree, I was like, I don't want to pull the flowers because the flowers look so beautiful. But wow, like if you never pulled those flowers, or you have one plant that you never pulled the flowers, and then the other plant that you kept on pulling those little flowers off, and then you see the difference of those two plants, you'll be like, wow, look at this plant here. It's got more flowers all over. Or tomato plants, or all kinds of different plants. If you pull the little flowers in the beginning off, then it will produce more fruit. And that's what we want. We want more fruit. We don't want, like, it's amazing. One tomato seed, how many tomatoes it will produce on that plant. So you can have that tomato plant produce so many tomatoes on that plant, but if you start plucking those little flowers when they start off, you'll get maybe even double the amount of tomatoes on that one tomato plant with that just the one little seed. So it is important, just like, a job, like I was saying, is, whoops, sorry, you see my shadow. So like with a job, if you are holding tight on a job and, nobody respects you there, well, then you're stuck and you're miserable. But you can let it go and get something that you really desire to have, and that will keep you happy, and where you get the money that you want. It might even be a better location. Maybe you don't have to drive that far. It's just that fear of thinking that you're not going to be able to do it. Things are not going to work out the way you want, because like you feel like you have to hold on. And that's exactly what we've been taught, is to hold on, don't let go. But letting go is what we sometimes need. Is by letting go, we're making more space for growth, or to have new energy to enter in our life, and blessings that God can actually bless us with. Like with me letting go of those clothes, now I made more space so I can get more clothes that I need for wintertime. So anyway, I'm sorry about Starlight kind of stopping here, but my car is right around the corner. So anyway, I hope you really get a lot of help from this, is that once you do these things, blessings can flow through. Letting go is very painful, and it is very needed. It is kind of funny. I needed to come out here because it's a great place to get alone and have some alone time, and really get my thoughts all organized and stuff. So I really enjoy getting out near the water. So I really hope you get a lot of help, and maybe you're holding on to somebody that you really got to let go. And sometimes that happens. People get separated for a period of time, so they give each other more space. I could go on for other things about plants, about space. But anyway, because of the time on this video, let me think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, for more space with roots in the ground with plants. There's some plants that the seeds have to get planted so far apart, because when the roots start spreading out, they need that room, and the soil's got to be a certain soil, so the roots can spread out, but it needs space. If it's too cramped up and the soil and the ground's too tight, not the right kind of soil, then it's not going to produce the way you want that fruit to produce. So everything needs space, and that way when it just like putting a plant into a pot and putting it in a house, well, that plant is only going to grow the outside of that pot. It's only going to grow the way that pot size is. But when you take it out of that pot and put it outside in the summertime when it's ready to get outside, it will do a whole much better because it's got more space to grow. So for all you plant lovers out there, you know what I'm talking about. I might not be wording it the right way, but I know a little bit about plants and gardening. So anyway, I love you so much, and I really hope you enjoy the day and the weather, and you can give this video a thumbs up. You can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, don't forget you could share my videos with your family, friends. I'm gonna say fish and a skunk. You could share my videos with a fish or a skunk. Plus, you can also check out my playlist, and you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. And anyway, I really hope you get a lot of help. So doing this is going to help you later on down the road. It's not hurting you. Sometimes we feel like things are going to hurt us, but it's only to help you. It's to help you to grow and to also bring in new energy into your life. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.